Shiva's time in the spotlight is finally over with the new summon refresh that just went live. Or at least you would think so. Well, not quite actually. We're going to be going over the changes to the summon system and the summons themselves. As usual, all the credit for these stream translations goes to Mad Slingshotter, our one translator in our entire community who does everything. Thank you so much for doing everything for us. This is a joke, by the way, but really do thank this guy for always doing all the translations for us. Anyways, we're gonna get started right now. So this first change is actually kind of surprising. They changed how summoning works by introducing summon speeds for different summons. In accordance to the new changes they got to their new abilities, Shiva is now a fast summon, along with Leviathan. Ramu and Alexander are normal speed summons, normal being the speed that it currently is in our game, and Ephraim, Odin, and Mohammed are all slower summons. This doesn't affect how long they're on the battlefield though. All the summons last about 38 seconds now. Along with that, the first attack they do is now random like all their other attacks. All of the attacks they do now are one hit, minus the finishers, which are 2 hits. Alongside that, rather than targeting an area, finishers now only target all the opponents at once. Kind of like Diamond Dust, but now all the summons have Diamond Dust style ending attacks. And now we'll be going over each individual summon. I'm not really going to go into their attacks, I might include a compilation at the end of this video. Hey, it's Blue from the future, and after I fixed my microphone and I finished recording, I'm just going to overlay what they showed on the stream as I talk about each summon. That's it. Much more simple that way. Okay, Pass Blue. Start talking about Shiva now. Her ice puddles are just gone. There's nothing else there. They're just not existent anymore. Shiva's new passives are what our current Bahamut's passives are. Her initial passive is that she increases buff and debuff durations from EX skills that are unique to that character by 1.1 times. Her after summon buff increases the unique EX skill gain you get while waiting for your unique EX skill to recharge and when you land a hit on an opponent. This mechanic already exists for everybody no matter what summon you're using. It's just amplified when you use Shiva by 1.8 times. If you're wondering if Shiva can still freeze people, yes, but that's only for Diamond Dust if it lands. Next up, I'll talk about Ephraim. He is a slower summon now, but he does increased damage to guard stamina, doing 2 times the amount of damage that you would normally do to somebody else's guard. And also your bravery attack goes up by 1.2 times after you summon him. He's basically the same except he's slow now. I mean, unless they changed how strong his passives are, I don't see anybody using him. I think he actually got nerfed. According to the Japanese wiki, his current bravery attack power multiplier is 1.3 times, and now with his summon rework it's 1.2 times. It's not like they changed his attacks that much or anything. They're basically the same too. Oh well. Let's move on to Ramu now. His summon speed is still the same, and his passives are pretty much the same. Before you summon him, your positive EX skills last 1.1 times longer, and after summoning him, your EX skills cooldown is reduced if you land hits, just like Shiva's, except for positive common EX skills rather than unique EX skills. Instead of just being 1.8 times reduction on hit, it's 2.8 times now. Oh, and by the way, so we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, Leviathan is exactly the same, except she does debuffs instead of buffs. The major difference between the two is not only their attacks, but that Leviathan is a much faster summon to get out onto the field. This, in my opinion, is enough to give debuffs a reason to be used over buffs now, but also not overpowering debuffs to make them more powerful than buffs, because it's still a lot harder to get Ren Shield on all 3 enemies at once, because they're the enemies, they're going to be splitting up and grouping up randomly, you can't really tell because you can't hear the communication, versus getting all 3 of your teammates to get buffed at once, because you can tell them all to group up around you. So this way, we'll be seeing more players use debuffs, I hope, because using debuffs is now faster than using buffs. The difference being that debuffs are harder to land. I like it. It's a good difference. Also, there's no HP debuff, regen, or vampire kind of ability that you can use yet, so we won't be seeing buffs go away anytime soon. Now on to the next summon. That summon being Odin, who is dead to me. The best part about Odin was his ending part, with Zantetsuken sucking people in and making it really hard to get away from him before he does that slicing attack. And now he's a slow summon. Despite this, his passives are pretty much exactly the same, except his post-summoning passive now increases your speed by 1.04 times rather than 1.02, so it's still barely any difference. And now since all the summoned ending attacks are like Shiva's, where it just attacks that person directly, we don't have that really cool sucking in ability anymore that he used to have. They either need to make his post-summon ability stronger, so it actually has a noticeable effect that is significant because he's a slow summon, or they need to change it so that he can be a normal speed summon. Like, let's say, increase the maximum dash gauge even further by like 2 times or 1.4 times. I'm just spitballing, by the way, I haven't thought about this at all. I'm just saying that they need to change that post-summon ability or change his summon speed, because him being a slow summon seems illogical, and I don't think anybody's going to use him anymore. Okay, on to our last summon here with Mohammed, our last slow summon. Mohammed works like he does in Dissidia Omnia. He increases the amount of bravery break bonus you get by 100 bravery. So instead of getting just 1000 bravery when you break somebody, you get 1100. After you summon him, he increases your default bravery by 200 points. So this way, Shiva's old post-summon buff where you just get 1300 bravery as your default bravery kind of lives on with Bahamut. Even though he's a slow summon, I still think a lot of people are going to use him because his passives are just really good and can fit with any team really. Also, him being a slow summon means he won't dominate the meta like Shiva did, even though his passives are still really good. Yep, that's all the summons. Now to go over their No, I'm lying. There is one more summon that we have to talk about. My favorite summon, but there could be something very wrong with him. Hopefully not. But I've been kind of saving him for last because I don't want to talk about him because I want to pretend he doesn't hear. Alexander. His old passives included 300 HP before summon, and then after the summon, you got Brave Defense. Now, his new pre-summoning effect is that he increases your recovery speed to Bravery by 3 times, and he gives you 200 HP after you summon him. I don't really care about the post-summoning effect, that's whatever. 200 HP, it's not really that much. 300 HP wasn't a lot, and 200 HP is even less. But whatever. His first ability is 3 times Brave Regen. This is literally Shiva's current summon ability, but just halved. Rather than being nigh instant, I guess now it's just extremely fast Brave Regen. And while he doesn't increase your default bravery value or anything, it's still really strong to having super fast Brave Regen. I don't know, I'm afraid that we're going to see Alexander being used by everybody, especially because he's not like a slow summon, he's a normal speed summon. And the best part about him, the Brave Regen comes out before you summon him, so you just need to pick him. It doesn't even matter if he goes slow or fast. I don't know, maybe they should reverse the ability so that before you summon him you get the HP buff, and then after you summon him you get the Brave Regen buff and make him a slow summon. I don't know. But I really hope that when we get the update for this update on NT, that everybody doesn't end up using Alexander like Shiva. Though Shiva is also strong because of her ice puddles, and those are completely gone and they don't exist in Alexander at all. So, I don't know. Let's look positively at it. Let's just hope that Alexander is just very strong and very useful now, compared to being barely useful as he was before. While I'm here, might as well say the next patch for Dissidia NT comes out on the 22nd in 1, 2, 3, 4 days, I want to say? Can't count, remember, I'm gay. And it includes Snow Veilers, the new balance changes, and the 8 new songs. Okay, well, tell me what you think about the summon rework in the comments. Tell me what you think about the snow update, I guess. I've said everything I need to say at this point. Leave your opinions on this update below, and snows and everything, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe on your mom, and goodbye.